or a whoa instead of, sometimes it's whoa. And so when you see it and you hear it, you kind of get an idea. Whereas we were kind of just going in blind.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day, we were just, all we could do was try to match the flaps. And then by watching, that's how we had to learn the intensity of the line. And we had to rely a lot on the direction.
Right now, this shit isn't easy.
What is going on, y'all? We are back with another episode of This Shit Isn't Easy, and I'm here with some amazing people today. In the building right now, I got my boy, That Nerd Named Biz, the human AI.
You already know what it is. It's That Nerd Named Biz in the room. And look, we here joined by the one and only Ozzyoz the Vyrus.
Yes, sir.
Today we've got a very special guest, man. Ozzy, could you please introduce our guest for today?
Listen, we have an incredible guest. She has been nothing but creating core memories for us in the anime community for years. She has done nothing but voice some of the most favorable characters in the Dragon Ball Z series and beyond that. And I just want to give a special shout out for her even taking the time on MegaCon weekend for spending time with us and just give us an insight on her incredible story from creating the iconic sounds and just her performance in some of these characters. And we are humbled to just be sitting upon her greatness and just talk about her history. Stephanie Nadolny, how are you?
I am never better. This is great. It's finally happening. We've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah.
No, we have. We've been talking about this podcast, I think when we met for sure. I know. I think when we were at that restaurant in Dallas, we were all talking about how we needed to do something like this. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. These are my nephews.
Yes.
I'm an auntie.
Big time.
I'm an auntie.
Big time.
We are family. I've known you for a couple years now, and you have been... First of all, I just want to clap it up. Thank you so much for supporting my art.
Oh, always.
Thank you so much for always just being somebody that, helped me feel like that, my art is, just worth being on your table because you were one of the first voice actors to actually put my art on your table. And then from then on, a lot of people after that started, reaching out to me. So
yeah, it's about half the table at this point. I've got the big posters and we're constantly working
on it. That's how a virus spreads.
I think it was like 5-6 years ago when I met you.
Yeah,
actually.
It feels longer than that.
Yeah. We hit it off immediately, and you're a fan of anime in general, but Dragon Ball Z, and yeah, it was San Angelo Comic-Con, if I remember correctly.
San Angelo, yeah. It was in the arena, and I just so happened to be sitting next to us.
Oh,
wow. By chance and fate, like I was just placed right next to where you're signing.
Yeah.
And typically, as if you know much about the con space, typically when you're a vendor, you're kind of in your own section.
Yeah, you're far away.
Yeah, you're not with the voice actors. So just by chance on that show. Shout out to the floor runners on that show. They had placed me next to you, and I just remember just being, just starstruck, like, oh my god,
we were hanging out.
Goku, like,
you had all your T-shirts and your artwork and we just kind of we just started hanging out.
Yeah.
And that's when we met, and you brought me the canvas of Goku. I think it was the one where he's running with the bowl of ramen.
Yes, shout out Super Saiyan. I had just made that piece around that time. Shout out Super Saiyan here in Orlando, Florida. They I had just finished that piece for them, and I know you played that character, and I was, showcasing that piece because it was fresh, and I just wanted to just give you a copy of it, just so you have some of my art, and then
on a canvas, and Dan and I were like, "Wow, who is this guy?" You're talented and you're humble, and you're, it's like I don't know, we just hit it off, and the colorful, vibrant energy that you put into each of your pieces are just it's like instant eye candy. In fact, Dan, my manager and bass player and everything else to me. Shout out to Dan the man, Lieutenant Dan. He was like, this is just like eye candy. I can't stop looking at it. And I'm like, I know. It's like every piece is original in its own way. And when you brought me that gift, I was just so like overjoyed with like, wow, he went and had this canvas made of his art. And then of course when I went to Super Saiyan restaurant, Super Saiyan, I guess to say it right. I saw a lot of your artwork on I guess it's the one in here in Orlando, right?
Yeah, there's 2 locations in Orlando, the one by Universal, but I think the one you saw was the UCF one where it's all over the walls. Yeah.
It was everywhere, and then Jacksonville, so
yeah, Jacksonville too. Shout out to the Jacksonville location.
We stayed in contact, and we've just been buds this whole time now. I know Biz, and we've been at countless events now together.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to take care of Ozzy on the road.
Right?
Somebody's got to take care of the road content.
Hey,
Yeah.
this shit isn't easy, and this is where a team is a very valuable, thing to have. So, man, again, shout out you, Biz. I appreciate you as a brother.
Hey, man,
as
it's a team
business
effort,
partner.
bro. It's a team effort
I
out
mean?
here.
I know.
I've been happy just to work along you guys. I mean, honestly, I mean, like I said, on our first episode, I haven't known Ozzy for too long, but in the time that I have known him, I've realized that he's a very exceptional artist, and it's been a pleasure working with him. But I think one of the things that I've really enjoyed in the process of working with Ozzy is getting to meet you, because you are truly a rare talent. And I remember when we were talking about everything, a year or two ago, it was like we were talking about how vital it was that you're such a core part of just the entire anime culture without people realizing it. And then we're loved that you're in this process now where you're reminding people, and not only that, but you're letting them remember, like, every show we go to, there's always Gohan fans, no matter what.
Yeah.
People
Gohan's
love
dope.
that Gohan is the go, and it's not adult Gohan. It's very particular.
Yes.
Everyone unanimously just knows it's Teen
Teen
Gohan.
Cell
That is
Saga,
the
baby.
peak of Gohan.
Yeah, that's some of the anime community's favorite arc
Yeah.
is the Cell Saga, and I didn't know any of this until I started kind of getting invited to Comic-Cons, and I'm like, well, I did this stuff a long time ago. Are you sure?
Yeah.
had
So
this
wait,
stuff-
you had no clue how
Well, no.
iconic he is?
I do now,
Oh,
but
would you, I guess, 'cause you were
early
you were
on,
recording it.
I'm just going line to line back in the day. I'm talking like 99, 2000, 2001. My first Comic-Con was San Diego Comic-Con in 2000. I didn't know what anime was. I just know when I auditioned,
Wow.
it was an animated project, but I didn't know it was anime. And so when I was there for the audition, I auditioned with the female characters were.
Right.
Bulma, Chi-Chi, Poir. And then at the very end of the audition, it was almost like American Idol. There were 3 like judges, and I was at the podium, and I had to do these whatever voices, and I was just making stuff up because I'd been voicing and mimicking since I was a kid, because I just did that for fun.
Right.
It all started with music, and we'll be talking about that at some point.
course,
But they asked me, "Can you do the voice of a young boy?" And I was like, "Well, yeah. Let's do it." And so I just gave him what I thought sounded like a cute little boy, and they said, "Can you put a little more rasp to that?" I said, "Oh, as much rasp as you want. Coming right up." And I ended up with the voice. They cast me as Gohan, as a boy. Ginyu Saga. I learned later that we actually picked up where the Ocean dub had left off.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everything got moved from Canada down to DFW, where there's a huge amount of amazing talent.
Yeah.
And it's a right
Shout
to
out
work
Dallas.
state.
Shout out
So
Dallas.
Funimation was already doing distribution.
Every anime character's in Dallas.
Everybody.
There's a lot of them. Yeah. Well, now Crunchyroll's
all
there.
there, yeah.
So yeah. I mean,
They're all right
we were all just kids, taking theater classes, and I was touring with a show band, and we kind of knew some of each other through the university there. There's a university in Denton, Texas, University of North Texas, and
UNT.
yeah, it's a music school.
I'm from Dallas. That's
right.
my city. So
That's
yeah.
right. So there was you meet people, whether it's at auditions or industry parties, or you're working on a show together, or you meet everybody from the backstage to the costuming, the makeup art, everything kind of comes together, and you just kind of talk about, oh, I'm going to be auditioning for this, you ought to come. And then that's kind of how it worked with me, but only it was through my music contacts. Turns out Barry Watson is a huge fan of Brave Combo, which is a internationally renowned Grammy Award winning polka band of all things, but they're kind of like world music. So they take songs and they make them like, they make you just want to jump up and dance. And of course I like it. Nadolny's Polish, so why wouldn't I like to do the polka? So I started working with Carl Finch of Brave Combo, and then that was probably about 1995 and 96. We ended up doing a whole album that isn't even, it got shelved, which I've got to get that on the internet. The fans are like, I want to hear that album. It's pretty good stuff. It's original. And then it just kind of went from there. And then when Barry was at one of the sessions, he was actually just hanging out with them. They were friends. And he asked me if I ever did voiceover. And I said, I've been doing some voice stuff for Chuck E. Cheese. And I mostly sing, but I do voices and I do some musical theater. And gave me his information and called me in for the audition. And that's where it all began. And boy, am I glad I made it to that audition. Because I was traveling and touring, but some tours would be, a week or two.
That's and it's just so random. Like, it's just like you knew a person who knew a person was like, hey, you should come check this job out.
Yeah, I mean, he heard something that he liked in my voice, and he also knew that the girl that was voicing Gohan prior up in Canada was also a singer. And she had a similar sound. And so he was looking to not maybe completely voice match the characters, but
something that gives the same energy of it.
Yeah, and the same kind of type of voice. And, he knew all of this long before any of us did. And everybody has a different origin story. Some people were able to actually watch some of the previous material on VHS tapes, back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
VHS. Oh God, I'm like,
This whole generation has no clue what that is.
you may not know what
Rewind.
this is.
No, we probably got some youngsters out there that are like, oh man, that stuff's old.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is back in the day. Man, I
It
remember the first
was.
time I ever heard like your voice on a VHS tape, like as a kid. Like we'd have sleepovers. Everybody goes to whoever has the Dragon Ball Z tape, and we would be watching like at least 5 episodes of tape. I think was
only
the
5 could
average.
fit on it.
Yeah,
That's
however much
all.
you could fit.
Yeah.
And we'd be because they only sell you the box set.
Yeah.
So you can only get like 25 episodes at a time if you're
Mhm.
lucky. If
Yeah.
if you really got it like that, you got the whole set. But
And then on the
rarely were
side,
you
remember
like
they made a picture.
yeah,
Like you could put them all together in order, and
that
it'd
was
be like
the key. That's how we know if you
Frieza,
had everything.
Goku, Trunks,
I would use like a pencil to rewind it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
well.
do whatever was necessary.
Yeah.
Whatever gets me back to zero. I mean, most of the time you put in the VHS, you hit rewind, and then you just gotta wait.
I have that.
You didn't have that.
Yeah, I'd use a pencil.
that's like us with cassette tapes.
Yeah, I guess that's-
When I was real little, we had cassette tapes, and that's a lot of what I recorded on when I came up with voices on my own.
Okay.
I would record them onto cassette tapes, and I think that actually ended up really expanding my
Sounds awesome.
what do you call that? Just my range, because
Yeah.
I would just play. And then my brother would find it and make fun of me, and then he'd record on it, and I'd cry and go to my mom, and all these things went on. But it was like I was actually, practicing for what was to come without knowing it until later, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
then the music and the piano and all the everything I've always wanted to do involved the voice.
Yeah.
It's just mostly that started out with the singing. But my brother and I were doing funny voices as kids, and my dad had that on 8-track tape. So we're going way back. I'm like
yeah.
really dating myself now. But once I got that microphone in my hand and my dad was there, and we always had a stereo. That's one thing we did have. Parents were big music lovers. So he was finding a way to record our voices in through the stereo. And so the hardest thing was letting that microphone go when it was time to go to bed. Because I didn't want to let
'Cause
go,
you
and I
love
didn't
it.
want to
sounds
stop
like you
singing.
love it,
I
yeah.
didn't want to stop doing voices, and so it was already something that's innately, you just know when you.
Got it.
Not everybody does, but when I was a really really young, my first memories are of music and singing and crazy voices, and
So it's safe to say you've been practicing music and using your voice in that range more than voice acting.
more so as far as like up and coming part, like my youth.
Okay.
The voices kind of entered the picture when I started getting involved in community theater, musical theater. That's
Okay.
when I had to really kind of focus more on the voice without music, or without music. If you're a character, you sing sometimes, and then I did like children's theater. I did Sleeping Beauty. We did Alice in Wonderland. I mean, all these things kind of molded and shaped me to like kind of give me some direction of my passion and what I really wanted to do when I got older.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes
So-
sense.
But the voice acting wasn't something I went after. Like, I mean, I watched cartoons, I would mimic the
Yeah.
voices and have fun with that, make up my own. But it's not like I'm going to be a voice actor. Like it didn't start
just
that
came to
way.
you.
Yeah, it was a talent that I thought everybody had. I thought everybody could do it. I didn't think it was anything really unique. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that
Yeah,
it is
I can relate to
more,
that, yeah.
I think in some ways, sometimes more unique than someone who can sing. Because it seems like more people that have the raw talent.
Yeah.
And then I just think the singing actually just made it easier for me to understand what my voice was capable of.
Yeah.
And because I was singing and doing voice acting, I was malleable and moldable because I could do so many different things. Because even with my singing, I was mimicking we did some cover music. So it's not that I was mimicking exactly, say, Aretha Franklin or whoever I was singing, the Supremes. Or,
You like test like your vocal range, like how
right,
far
I
you
was,
can actually.
and I was performing so much and for so many years that I just got to know my voice. I could sing when I was sick. I found ways to change the key to make it work. We were also characters, so we incorporated skits, and we were cheerleaders, and then we were poodle skirts, and then we were the Supremes, and we wore the gowns, and it was a lot of theatrical. There were voices incorporated because we were characters, but we were also singers. So we had to sing, act, dance, and do improv comedy. So, and then I was 18 when I joined that band. So I was really, I was working in the industry, I think almost 10 years before I got into voice acting per se.
So how old were you when you were, I guess, on the auditions for Dragon Ball? Like, from 18, I guess, up until that time,
About
you doing the music.
20, I got into voice acting through Chuck E. Cheese. That would have been 26. And then I got the audition. for Dragon Ball Z when I was 27, and I know the age too because 1999 is when we started recording that senior. My mom was fighting her cancer, and we ended up losing her that year. That was August of '99. So that was a crazy year because it was like my 10-year high school reunion. There was my mom getting sick, me starting a new career in voice acting, which I didn't even know how long it was going to last. I didn't know if this was like, oh, I'm going to do this one character. That's it.
Yeah.
Then they kept growing and inheriting more properties that they wanted to get voice acting. So then, of course, we got Dragon Ball after we started doing Dragon Ball Z, which none of us really knew there was a Dragon Ball. Or I know I didn't.
So you did Dragon Ball Z first before Dragon Ball?
We basically picked up where Funimation was recording and gathering the data. See, Barry Watson would go up and gather the data and then bring it back, and then they would edit and everything in Texas. And then they're like, well, let's just expand our offices and bring it to Texas and just recast everything. And we didn't. Yeah, we didn't know till later. So now it's kind of like there's the Ocean dub, and sometimes we'll interact with them at some of the cons, and I think it's really cool because I got to meet the Saffron Henderson who voiced Gohan before me and Kid Goku as well.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, we found out kind of after the fact, and then of course Burger King put out their little toys.
Yeah.
The little figures you could get with your kids meal. And then my first Comic-Con, and that's when I kind of realized how big the franchise was. And then when I went to Europe, I saw a bunch of stuff over there when we were touring over there. And that's when I was like, wow, this is international. Like, like to really put it together and then realize, oh, Japanese anime, they everything you see is Japanese, and then we dub in English. So, I mean, all this stuff kind of, because I was only there once every few weeks or months, depending on what line count. Gohan was mostly reactions. But Dad, there was just a whole lot of reactions.
So surreal, and I know you, and I hear this, but it's like it just feels like, damn, it's right here.
Yeah,
it's
right beside you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was actually called the reactress because which I thought was kind of funny because that's kind of most of what I was doing early.
Right.
Wow. He was mostly watching. And, he had his moment. It was coming. I didn't even know that. One day it showed up, and he was, interacting with Cell, and he was a badass. And I was like, okay, what do you want? And I just took the direction. And
Goated saga, by the way.
Yeah, one of the best. I mean, the Frieza saga was cool, too. I didn't mind Gohan's part in it. But, I mean, to be fair, Gohan had, one fight?
He had a couple.
And then he spent most of the rest of the time running,
running,
hiding.
Running around with Krillin.
Yeah, or hanging out with Krillin until Krillin got blown up. And then it was like, okay, we got to go wake up Vegeta.
Yeah.
And then it's, we got to go get Bulma and get on the ship.
Oh, I know.
Mr. Piccolo.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It, like I said, I mean, I did it. It ran its course. And then I had done some Comic-Cons. But now it's like.
Now I'm thinking about it.
It's like a
resurgence.
resurgence.
You had more lines when you were on the fake planet.
Probably.
Like legitimately, I think he talked a lot when he was on the fake planet, but then
hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, that was
when we all saw his potential. I remember that one episode when he kind of hinted he's gonna go Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan.
And that's when Goku decided, I'm gonna set him up. So just fight Cell 1-on-1.
Yeah.
1v1. Yeah, no, that's crazy.
And, and for me, I think it's a totally different voice. It's still Gohan, and it still comes from
more deeper,
my
more
sound.
Serious.
He's just. This fight is meaningless. It was a lot of screaming, a lot of really intense. The reference I was given was Clint Eastwood.
Oh, well then, you nailed it.
Meaning, just, you got to be tough, you got to be intense, but you're collected. You're cool. Like, you don't freak out like you used to when you were younger kind of thing. Because he's really only 11.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't look.
I literally
doesn't look 11, but
I forget that every time. I'm thinking he's like 14.
He looks,
15,
he looks like a teen. I get it.
Years later, 11, yeah.
I mean, he's
sells ass at 11.
I mean,
I know.
He didn't really get a choice of the matter. They literally threw him in there. It was like the world's on your shoulders, kid. Figure it out.
And they were all way, all the other characters were way up in the distance.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
looking
man.
Down.
So, do you feel like Goku is a bad father for that? Because that sets you up to be the best moment. But a lot of people say he's a shitty father for that.
That was the moment.
I hear that. I get that feedback.
As anime fans of the community, we always say, Goku's a horrible dad for that.
Piccolo was really kind of the one that taught him to fight.
Yeah,
he was kind of there. He put him through some stuff, but he was doing it to make him stronger.
Right.
And resilient. So
Absolutely.
But yeah, I've had fans come at me and they want me to say Piccolo's my dad. Piccolo's my real dad. they got their favorites, you
Right.
know. But I was just glad that the directors trusted me with that role because that could have been easily cast to someone else. Of course, adult Gohan was Kyle Hebert, but to either believe I could do it or just I show up, and if I do a good job, and I kept coming back, so that's some of the most definitive work, probably anime wise for me, but to trust me with that role and they told me what to do and I did it, and thankfully I had the chops because I was singing on touring all the time, and just whenever they could book me for the sessions, I would just come in once a week or twice a week, save a lot of the really painful screaming
I was about to
for
say,
the
I was
end of the
like-
session.
I was about to
I was
ask
about
that
to
question. So my first question prior to that, what was I'm just curious because we all have this moment in our life where it's like, wow, this is it. What did it feel like to get that call back? Like, hey, we're casting you as this character, or you got the job or the position or the what? I don't know what you call
I
it.
think it just
excited? Were you
became
happy? Or just like,
yeah.
let
I
me
mean,
just do what I gotta do?
I just, as far as Gohan, I just showed up for a session, and
Okay.
I didn't know what we never knew what we were working on.
Okay.
We knew it was Dragon Ball Z. That's it.
So how long until you got the call back?
I just showed up for a session. They booked me, and we dove right in.
Or you just jump right into it?
I just all of a sudden was
Okay.
he's in purple and he's buff and he's ready. He'd been training, and we're gonna go with this. And then that's when I was
just jump right
directed to
into
drop the voice, and I was like, oh, well, this is what we're doing. And for efficiency's sake, that's kind of how they did things. It's like, well, she might nail it on the first try. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
And then if you don't, you go back and do it again, or you do another one after you've seen it, and then they slide it into place.
Okay.
That's
Now
good
it's done with
talent.
computers, and there's no paper scripts, and everything's
Digital.
Fast.
yeah, everything's up to
They
date
display
on
it
the
in front of
modern.
you and they just
Yeah, and you hear now the process is different in the sense that we hear the Japanese line prior. So we can get the sense of timing, we can get the sense of
The
urgency.
cadence that they put into it.
And then if they're like, oh, it's high stakes, oh, okay, no, that's just kind of like a or a whoa instead of, sometimes it's whoa. And so when you
Gotta
see
match
it
it,
and you
yeah.
hear it, you kind of get an idea. Whereas we were kind of just going in blind.
Oh wow.
Back in the day, we were just, all we could do was try to match the flaps. And then by watching, that's how we had to learn the intensity of the line. And we had to rely a lot on the direction, from the director saying, okay, well, this is high stakes and this is what's going on. Oh, okay. And then once you do it once and then you keep coming back, you just kind of know what to do. It kind of becomes like second nature.
Yeah. I
Like,
can imagine, yeah.
you just kind of, it's not that you're going through the motions because we're working. We're really, I put my heart and soul in those lines. And,
Oh no, we heard.
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
there's-
yeah.
We know.
yeah.
We heard it.
From my Dragon Balls.
Yeah, from that scream when he transitioned to Super Saiyan 2, I heard it. Like,
It was like pain.
Yeah.
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 I used that in my
Watch the Android
intro
Techie
video
Snaps.
like 2 years ago, and it's like one of my favorite lines where he's like, "I won't watch this anymore," and that
Oh,
scream
yeah.
that comes afterwards. I'm
Yeah.
just
He
like,
finally is
"Man,
like, I'm
this
done."
was just it. This was one of the most perfect line deliveries I think
I'll go
in
as far
anime
as
for me.
I'll go as far as to say it's probably better than when Goku was Super Saiyan.
Yeah, honestly, I think
Because that was one of my favorite moments, but I think the Gohan
I
one
think it
tops
hits
that.
harder.
Yeah.
I think it's because we really watch like him lose it all to a complete stranger. Like because 16 wasn't important, but 16 was important in the sense of like grasping back that little bit of his humanity in that moment because he was like, like I don't want
speech.
to, I don't want to hurt anybody, man. I just really want to be like a nice guy, and maybe I shouldn't fight Cell. And he's like, hey, bro, you got to let go right now.
Yeah.
This
Right,
is
he's-
the time for
he's
that.
like,
Let it
listen.
go,
This isn't
Gohan.
the time for that,
Let it
Gohan.
go.
Yeah.
Let it go, Gohan.
That's really
It's-
intense.
And it's just one of those most like there was no
Yeah.
build up for when it happened to Goku. It was just like, hey, Goku, look, everybody's dead, bro. It's either it's either you show up right now.
Think, my boy, you gotta
It's
make
either
this
you show up
happen.
right now, or you're gonna watch your son die next. Like
Yeah.
everything's on the line, bro. Everyone's Krillin's dead.
Yeah.
Piccolo's almost dead.
Yeah.
Vegeta's dead. You had to bury Vegeta. He's dead.
Yeah.
Like,
He's out of here, bro.
He's outta
He
here.
left the chat.
I'm out of here.
So Goku, if you don't do something right now, hey, I'm sorry to tell you,
Wait.
he already said he's gonna blow up the planet. It's
You know
over.
what's so crazy? Can one of y'all grab that figure, that Gohan figure? We gotta sit it right here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's the
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Let's sit it right here by the mic as you
Yeah,
as
that's
you
the
talk.
one. That's the one.
If one of y'all can reach it, yeah, that
And,
one.
and
I
also,
was just at a convention
Yeah.
where they did a life-size one. There's
Put that
like
bad
he's
boy
this
right
tall
here.
and like
yeah.
sells like
This is the one
Giant.
we got her to sign, like
Bad boy
right here in the
Oh.
front.
Will
right
he
there.
stand up?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, to the side. Actually, you know, I'm putting him right here to the side.
Now-
So that
now
he's
he
got
stands
his
up.
own little.
This is funny. We talk about, and I'm looking, and while I'm talking, I'm like, oh, he's right there.
Yeah, this is the one I actually had you sign from.
Right there on his bum.
Right there in his
Right
butt.
on that.
Yeah, right on the butt. That's Dragon Ball Z's butt right there.
Yeah.
But actually, I want to take that to just make a quick announcement. So,
You know what? Let's go waifu for waifu. Attention to detail, even as far as the packaging. So, all right. So it looks like we got 2 gold cards and a silver. First edition Hello Kitty cat, colorful, very
There's like a
vibrant.
Hellcat in there too. Get it? Hellcat.
It's got all the kitties. A Gojo sticker. Yeah, what sticker did you get? That's alright. I keep the Gojo. You know.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. A prize card. You scan the QR code. You fill out a form on the website. It'll link you to a chance to win a random prize.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what it is. It's just
Okay.
another surprise to look forward to.
Yeah, it pulls up right here.
There you go.
Okay.
Nice and easy. Another certificate of authenticity comes with every card pack. Hey, the gotta catch 'em all.
Yo.
So
and you love
you know
Pokemon.
I collect. You know I
Yes.
collect Pokemon cards. I've been doing it since I was a kid. It's oh, you're my best friend in a world we must defend. Definitely a piece of my childhood right there. And
Hey.
finally, see what our last gold card is.
Sailor
The
Moon!
Vyrus Edition Sailor Moon.
Oh,
Look at that color
Hold
scheme.
up.
Get them while you can, because they won't be here forever.
I have a question because I'm curious, right? You last played Gohan and Kid Goku in the franchise. You said in 2000, 2001, and now
Oh,
you're
right.
You're back in 2025.
Yeah.
Was it hard to adjust to jump right back into the voice, or was it just natural?
For me, it was natural.
Okay, I
But
figured. I had a
it'd
feeling.
been the time had just passed, and other projects were happening, and then Funimation was being sold or bought, and some things changed, and then they changed the studio moved to a different part of Dallas Fort Worth, and then again it moved again to a little more central, closer to the airport. Now it's called Crunchyroll. So Toei Animation was, I think, involved the whole time, but it was a matter of Sony. I don't want to say anything. I might be wrong about some of this.
Yeah,
But I mean,
okay.
basically there were changes being made, and then of course Gohan grew up, and
Yeah.
Kyle Aber took over. He goes into the going to high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chi-Chi sends him to school, and he's
AKA the ultimate get back arc.
yeah.
He had to get even with Hercule after that. That
Oh,
was
right.
debacle. That's the only thing I love about that arc is
The
like,
great Saiyaman.
yeah, I finally get my shine and everything because basically I should have made a fortune after beating Cell and not had to live in the country no more. But
Mm. Yeah.
Hercule took all that money,
Uh-huh.
and I'm still out here struggling to
Yeah.
go to school and pay
Keep
bills.
his mom happy.
Yeah,
and, yeah.
like
That was the ultimate scare.
yeah. So I always felt like him getting Videl and that nice little high school arc. That was him, like the world balancing back out for him. Like, all right, you're not
Yeah.
the star you should have been as an 11-year-old world-saving hero, but
Yeah.
you got the girl.
Right. Well, and before that, this is totally random. I guess it's kind of trivial. So after I finished the Cell Saga and they moved into the next part of Dragon Ball Z where Kyle Aber takes over as Gohan, he goes out on a date with this redheaded girl named Angela. And
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
played that voice. I
you
played
did?
that
Really?
Yeah, so it's weird. Because all of a sudden I'm like Super Saiyan, "Blah!" And then I'm like, "That's up! You wear teddy bear underwear." And I was like,
Wow, I
finally
never
got
knew
cast-
that was you.
I finally got cast as a female. Yeah, girl power.
All right, so real quick, just out because now I'm curious now. What other voices can you like? I guess not improvise. What's the word?
Mimic?
Impersonate real quick. Like just give
Yeah,
us
on
like
the fly?
a quick. Yeah, like real quick. Like what else can you do?
Probably Bobby Hill.
Okay. Let's
But
hear it.
Dad, all this time I thought I was an extra large, and I'm actually a medium at the fat kid store.
Wow. Okay.
Really
What
good.
else?
I love Bobby.
What else you got?
Shut up, Beavis. Yeah, damn, we're smooth.
Beavis and Butthead. I love Beavis and Butthead.
Shut up, dillweed. And I was into the I had
Have you seen
brothers,
their new show?
stepbrother. I mean, yes,
Do you like it?
it's great.
I thought so.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
love
you.
it.
I laugh
I've
until I
noticed
cry.
all the Beavis and Butthead fans love it. They just
I
hasn't
must
missed a
have
beat.
been a dude in a past life, seriously, because I like the burping and I don't know.
Hey,
It's just naturally
teenage
funny.
Saiyan boy. You have it.
I had a big brother. I had 2 stepbrothers. I was surrounded by that.
Yeah, so
type
it's
of
just
humor, and so I grew up with that. And I did go through a tomboy stage where I was climbing the trees with them, and watching football, and doing stuff like that. So I mean,
would you say all these things kind of help shape the personality of what it would take to play a young boy character?
I think so.
I
I
can see
took
that.
a lot of
From
that.
what you're saying, it just sounds like that's how you embody what it feels to sound like it. You know what I mean? And I think that's pretty cool. Everything
And
happens for a reason.
they wanted him raspy. Some of the fans are like, why is she so raspy? Is she a smoker? And I'm like, no, I don't smoke. They want raspy. Some people love the rasp, but that was one of the ways I also differentiated Gohan's voice versus Kid Goku. So
that's
when
what
it
I was
came-
gonna say. Yeah.
Another thing that happened was coming in for a session, not knowing what we're working on. Boom, I'm Kid Goku. So Mary Watson's like, I want her to play Kid Goku. So
I feel like you can really tell the difference between the two of them. Like Goku's much more like less rasp, more mystery, and Gohan's more
carefree.
rasp.
More like,
But like he's so much more serious than Goku ever was. Like he's very
Yeah.
careful. He's very timid. Like
he holds back.
Yeah,
He's
Goku is just in the mix.
Whatever.
Like all the time.
Not scared of anything.
Nothing. Demon lady wants to give you food. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
What am I
it'll
eating?
work
I
out.
don't care. I'm
I don't-
eating. I'm
yeah.
happy. I'm eating. Yeah. So that's another situation where all of a sudden I was Kid Goku. Now, if I would not have done a good job, I could easily have been replaced. I would have just been the way it was. I ended up really embracing that character. We pitched everything up. It was less strenuous. I mean, he still screams and fights and things like that, but it's up here. He's chipper. He's fearless, and he's not very smart, but he's lovable and he's pure of heart. So hey, that rhymed. He's not very smart, but he's pure of heart.
Not gonna lie, I would kind of be annoyed if Goku was smart. I feel like it wouldn't work in his
take
favor.
away, yeah.
It takes something away from him.
But if you look back at the old episodes, he was a little bit more tactical and serious in the beginning, and now they just kind of completely.
That was Grandpa.
That's the only real human being he'd been around. So remember when he meets Bulma in the beginning? Yeah.
Completely. I was talking about this earlier. I was like, when he meets Bulma, yeah, he's terrible. He just doesn't understand anything.
He thinks that the whole car and her inside of it is a big monster. Not gonna get my fish.
Yeah.
I remember. I love my favorite part. I remember when he patted her crouch. You have no ball. No ball.
I know.
It's so funny.
Well, how was recording lines like that? How was that?
So fun because they're just funny lines to
Right.
begin with, and so a lot of the directors were also voice actors, and we all kind of were in the same age range. And we kind of had the same sense of humor, and somewhere there's probably some bloopers out there floating around, and yeah, we had fun with them though. I mean, I'm naturally just kind of a silly person anyway. Like that's
So it
kind of my
fits.
I'm cheesy and nerdy and whatever you want to call it. I'm very much in touch with the kid in me.
Right.
And so I think that comes through hopefully in the performance of playing
it
young,
shows.
young boys or young.
What I said in the
kids.
intro earlier, I wholeheartedly meant that. Like, you have literally shaped a core memory for all of us, like hearing these verses and these these lines and these moments that we will always we'll never forget. And
Yeah.
I hear it, and just to hear you,
It's
in real
nostalgia.
time, yes,
Because that's another thing I didn't understand. I'm like, well, here it is 10, 15 years later, and I'm like, they want me at Comic-Cons. That's awesome, but why? Like, I had to be shown. And then I'd show up. Oh, okay. They watched it growing up. Okay. Nostalgia for me was disco music, 80s music. My cartoons were the Smurfs. My cartoons were Mel Blanc. Mel Blanc. however
you're
you say it.
the-
Looney Tune. So it clicked. And in fact, that was about the time I met you. It was like, oh, okay. And then you just embrace it and you're thankful for it. But I was just like, well, this kind of happened a long time ago for me, but a lot of people, watched it growing up. And so, yeah, it becomes part of their nostalgia.
So I'm just
Even
curious.
to this day, it's crazy. They line up, they want the signatures,
Because we value, the role that you play. So, like I said, that leads me to my next question. I'm just curious, do you see a difference in, the fandom now that you're, back playing Goku again? Or has it always been the same throughout the years? Like, they just always loved what you do?
It's different in the sense that it's like I'm back working on something new, but Akira's last project and Goku is back. So, the voice is back. The voice is just like riding a bike. But I think that it's just that they've got something that was not there. Like they watched them all, and then I was kind of out of the scene, waiting or doing my other stuff, singing, and then I got asked back by Toei Animation, which is also a lot of the fans coming and saying, "Hey, we want our nostalgia, we want our OG Goku back."
Yeah, nostalgia
So
beats
they
all.
listened, and it being a very special Akira Tori. I always want to say
Toriyama,
Toriyama.
yeah,
I
that's a
say
lot,
Toriyama.
yeah.
I'm saying it wrong. Toriyama. It's his last project. So, Toei's being very careful with it and very protective because they want to honor his legacy and what he brought to the table with that whole entire franchise.
No, I agree with
So
that. I mean,
when we got to finally announce it at the New York Comic Con last October, y'all were there.
Yeah, we were there. We were in the
We were
building.
hanging out, man. It was fun.
It was a fun time.
Then I could finally talk about it.
You want to pick out some questions for fans? Yeah, real quick, we're gonna answer some questions. Actually, can we just run through some of the live ones real quick, and then we'll get to some of the ones that you guys sent to me prior to. Which, by the way, if you want to have some of your questions answered, anytime I post on my story, ask some questions. That's the time to ask some good questions for the guests or for us, on the This Shit Isn't Easy podcast. But we'll start with, let's see what we see.
I just wanted to ask you about your anime theme songs. Like,
Oh, right. Yeah, we definitely need to talk about a lot of the fans and the people that watched Dragon Ball Z or whatever I worked on didn't realize I was a singer. And
we're gonna get to the music part.
Yeah,
real
we'll get to
soon.
that. We'll get
'Cause
to
you
that.
you kind of put me at you saying a couple of like
The anime
themes?
themes.
yeah some theme songs for some stuff she sang
Back
some
in the
theme
day,
songs.
they were recording
yeah.
those.
No, we're gonna get into that. But Reified says, what are a few things you do to embody and essentially become the character you're voicing? So like, I guess how do you prepare? What do you do?
The only preparation I do is just to get my mind set, and usually that's when I'm driving to the studio, which
Okay.
gives me sometimes 30. Back in the day, it was over an hour, depending on traffic, just to get to the studio. So I would get my focus then. And being a singer, I kind of didn't really feel like I had to warm up much.
Okay.
Because I was just always singing, always in practice. So I recommend that people warm up. I don't want to say don't warm up because that's, you want to
wanna
take
keep
care
it
of your
going.
voice. Lots of water, lots of sleep. I make sure that I'm very well rested. And that if there needs to be a break, if my head's pounding from screaming for a couple hours, we take a break. You just got to do that.
You pretty much answered the second question, which is, what are some voice exercises you do to maintain everything, which is from Molly Jean. So thank you for knocking out 2 birds, 1 stone with that.
Yeah,
Molly
for
Jean, we
sure.
got your question
Okay.
answered. Biz, you want to read or pick out some of the questions from
Yeah.
from the IG?
so if you could change anything about voice acting, what is one thing that you would change in the show?
Just that, man, it's just so cutthroat. It really, the competition and the groups of people that kind of move around in various circles. If you're not kind of in a certain groove, you just kind of get overlooked, or you might get, not get a role, or not,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'd like to think that could be better, but that can be in any lines of work.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Was
I
there anything
mean-
about like the show itself that you'd want to change? Like, is there like an
Probably-
arc or a story that you want to tell?
Probably because of your feedback and the fans' feedback about Gohan.
Yeah.
Now he did come back in the movie. I haven't seen it, but
He's
props
pretty
to
good.
Kyle.
Yeah,
for
he
coming
did.
back.
He did his thing in the movie. It
Beast
wasn't.
Gohan.
I wasn't mad at Kyle for that movie. I was
No,
mad at
it's-
Cell Max because
Yeah.
y'all could have just summoned my boy back and beat him back into hell. I don't know why y'all
Yeah.
took this
I
long
would've
route
liked to
around
have
it.
seen-
It
I
was
would've
super
liked to have
simple.
seen him Kind of sorry about that. Go,
No,
more,
you're
go a step. Man, a lot of the fans are like, well, why didn't Gohan just kind of move into more like the Goku, like more of a
Yeah.
more of a lead
Yeah,
role?
we really wanted
I
that.
said that on one of my takes that went viral. I got a lot of hate for it when I was like, there's a lot of stuff I'll change about Dragon Ball. But I meant it like as a fan. Like
Yeah.
this is just
it's
some
not that I
feedback.
hate it. I love
Yeah.
it. But I just would have loved to have seen those things. So that's what I meant when I said that,
Yes.
because they clipped me up.
Yeah, they were
They did me bad.
very upset with him about that.
I was like, I'll change this. I don't like this. And I'm like, oh.
Gohan got exactly what he deserved. He wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was.
Yeah.
What is your favorite artwork drawn by Ozzy so far?
Oh my! really?
Good Steven 97.
Oh, shout out my little cousin,
Was
man.
that, look at that new, the
Yeah.
first one, because that's where it all began.
The first one, what was it again?
Well,
the
it's
one that we
little
collaborated on? Oh, the Saiyan
the
Bowl.
collaboration. Okay, we're
Yeah,
jumping
so-
all over the place. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so the Saiyan Bowl was that's your favorite?
Well, of Goku, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
no, that's
yeah.
fine.
But him on the cloud, with the peace signs.
Yes,
that's on
I
my
remember
table.
that one. That was
People
for
love.
Command Con. That was a Command Con
Yes,
exclusive.
he was actually. They even put him on one of the badges.
Really?
Yeah, Slaytosh with one of his.
Yeah, shout out Chris
events.
Slaytosh.
Yeah, the Slaytosh family, they're great.
Yeah.
Kamehacon, man.
Yeah,
Whoo.
shout out. Are you going to
I'll be at Kamehacon 6.
Let's do it.
Atlantic
Let's
City,
do
baby.
it.
I heard. We're
coming up.
trying to get everything organized for that this year. We're excited to.
Yeah,
try
we're
to
gonna
get
Moving
there.
it to New Jersey.
Facts,
So
facts.
you guys check it out. It's going to be, I want to say, early June.
Yes.
I think it's the first weekend of June.
Yes,
It
it is.
feels like it's next month to me because
What's coming up?
Yeah, everything is.
we got to prepare
ain't
for all
easy,
the
guys.
shows. Yeah, it's
We got some travels we got to get through this
We're
next couple of
living
months.
up to
Yeah,
it.
we'll see you very soon. Probably before that, there's another show, but we'll see you at Kamehacon 6. So shout out to the whole
absolutely.
team there. Everybody who's a part of that show. Anybody who's going.
Tell all your
I wouldn't
friends.
see
man.
you out
It's
there.
gonna
Because
be
for the
great.
other years, it's always been
in Dallas
Fort
or
Worth,
in
Dallas,
somewhere in
yeah.
Texas.
I think they wanted to shake things up. They skipped a year and it's like revamped and said, hey, let's do Jersey.
Hey,
I'm excited. I
I
mean,
am too. I love it up
can't wait.
there.
Close to home for me. You know, I'm from New York, so that's right there.
Exactly. Some of my
Nice.
greatest friends, fans that have become friends over the years live up it that way. Massachusetts, Rhode Island, my
do it.
Nadolny, all my Nadolny extended family are in Rhode Island. So anytime I can get up to the East Coast or anywhere up there, Boston, love it up there. So I'm really excited. I've had
I'm
some really
excited
good
to see
experiences.
a DBZ con. You guys always talk about Kamehacon, so I'm just excited to be
Never
able to
been?
like. No.
I've never seen it.
Oh, that's right. There
Yeah.
is a DBZ. There's
No. I'm saying you guys always talk about like Dragon Ball
Oh,
focus
yeah.
cons, but I've never gotten to go to one with
Oh,
y'all.
okay.
So I'm excited to do this.
Oh.
All right, we're going to do it this
Oh.
year. This is the
Yeah.
year to do
I'm
it.
excited not just for the guests, but the fans that haven't been able to go to one because
Yeah.
they do live so far, or they've had to work, or whatever has kept them from it. Maybe now they've got the budget and they're older. I don't know. I'm just really happy for this. We're really embracing that. We want to branch out. Maybe we'll move it again. Then who knows what they're going to do? But
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited. This is definitely my busiest year.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's branding.
Yeah. Bars. It's definitely.
It's definitely, yeah.
All right, any other questions?
Yes, if you could take over another voice character, who would it be? What anime or from what show and why? From Ink Gaming 8.
Oh, Ink Game. Hey, I think I know that name. It gets confusing sometimes.
Yeah, there's a lot of names.
It's not always their
You have to
exact
read a lot
name.
of
You
names.
guys are tuned in today. Yeah.
I love it.
We have a legend in the building. That's why.
I would want, Ozzy. My nephew. My other nephew.
Thank you, Auntie. We love you so much. But what was the other question again?
I would want to voice and sing a character role. And
Oh.
I'm saying this just as an example, but one of my all-time favorite Disney classic movies was The Little Mermaid, is The Little Mermaid. And Jodie Benson voiced the character and sang
Oh, I
the
didn't know
songs.
that.
So apparently that's not the norm.
No,
They will hire a voice actor for the voice and a singer for the
Singing
for the
aspect,
singing.
yeah.
They would somehow sound, I guess, the same, but they weren't.
saw it in
my
Lion King.
dream role would be something new, something completely original. Obviously, wouldn't necessarily want to do a remake. I just want to be a voice of a character that also sang.
Okay.
Maybe somebody's writing something now that
I mean, you know, Disney always writing something. Like,
yeah.
somebody's always writing something. And if they're not writing something, you know, the other side's writing something. DreamWorks is writing something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pixar. Yeah,
Pixar's right.
mean,
Somebody's
whatever
writing
it is.
something.
I mean, and I would. It doesn't even have to be big name. I just think because that's where I think I shine the most because it's both talents combined. So I just think that would be really, really fun. And another thing we started to talk about was the anime.
I was about to
themes.
get into that. So what are some theme songs that you have, sang and I guess been like a part of like the intro or the outro?
So my first one I ever did and actually performed and recorded, and it was actually utilized was "Sayonara Bye Bye" for Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, that's one
Wow.
of my favorite animes too. Outside of Dragon Ball, 'cause I love Dragon
Yeah,
Ball.
you-
Yu Hakusho, goated animes.
One
Wow,
of the
so you're
best.
saying okay.
So, and what had happened was, I was working with Carl Finch with Brave Combo, who had the show band, and we were working on an album, and we were writing, and we were working together all the time. And he was brought in to produce this music, and we would take the Japanese lyrics, like turned into English, but they didn't really make sense lyrically. So he and I would sit down with them and make them lyrically,
yeah.
restructure it, convey the same message in English, and then because we were musicians and singers, that's the one we started with, and so I sang it. And then after that, there were so many others that I was hired to kind of like go find other vocalists. And I had been working with other girl singers with Vince Vance and the Valiants for 20 plus years. So I brought some other singers in, and then I got to direct some of them, which was, wow, I'm behind the mic talking to them to get the best out of what they could do. So that was like I was kind of like an intern in a way though. Like I wasn't.
So you had to
I
work
was
your way up to
kind of
to
working
get
with
your foot in the
Carl
door?
and on our stuff. Yeah, because I was voicing at the same company, but the singing part of it was just a whole different process.
Yeah.
And so the second one I ended up singing was second one was Kitty Grade opening. And
Yes, which
Kitty
you actually
Grade-
showed me on the way here. in
Kitty
the
Grade
car,
opening
yeah.
and Kitty Grade ending. And for whatever reason, I'm not credited for it. Carl Finch is for the music, and it's fine. It's just a lot of the fans don't know, and they would like to know. Now, some people have recognized the voice and say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I think that's Stephanie. I think she's the da-da-da." And then the fourth one I did was one for Case Closed. You know what? I think I did about 7 of them, and the most popular ones are the ones I've just mentioned. And yeah, there was a Case Closed one. Anyway, so yeah, but it was a really cool process, and to be involved in the production side of it, and kind of the directing.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know that they converted themes because nowadays
They
they
don't
don't
do
they
it
don't convert the
anymore.
themes anymore. They're just
I
like, hey,
know.
whatever the theme
I know,
is, that's
yeah.
the theme.
And
All right,
they're
we're
great,
using it.
and they're
yeah,
great,
but the
but
themes are like
they're
top tier now. They're either
They really
hiring
are.
actual bands in Japan who are already famous to do them, which is already crazy, or they're like your favorite anime this year, Kaiju number 8.
Yeah.
They hired a legit rock band that's well known, Imagine Dragons, to do their intro, and it's
I
like,
love that band.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
I'm learning
Yeah.
some of their stuff on piano. I love
Oh
it.
yeah, that's why I was so
Yeah.
impressed because I'm like, yeah, this is a whole different era where they're just hiring straight up like
I know.
rock
and
stars.
you know
to
there's
come out.
probably a lot of red tape, and there's probably
course.
like that's a whole nother ball of wax they would have to deal with, and maybe the fans are like, hey, we like the original themes anyway, and
Yeah.
we love the Japanese language or whatever. But I mean, I could definitely do that. I could do that all week if we were doing that again.
Got it. So I want to make sure we also tap into the struggle of what it takes to do what you do, because like we always say, this shit isn't easy.
Not.
Out of curiosity, right? You don't have to disclose any numbers. What does it take for, or what does a voice actor, I guess payment look like? Like, is it a profitable thing? Like, if somebody's interested, like, is it profitable so that you can live off? Do you have to work harder by doing other things? Like, what is that part like?
Early on, especially because Gohan was, not a prominent character back then.
Okay.
I could knock out 3 episodes in an hour or 2.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be needed again for a few months. So yeah, I had to do other things, and I wanted to do other things. I was like
So would you say
young and traveling and touring. And
was it like enough to like help with like a couple bills? Was it like
yeah,
okay?
yeah, it was definitely not something. Unless you were multiple characters or you were there, more than 1, 2, 3 times a week.
Compile different checks.
And then they would start coming in more often. I can say that when I was working on OKKO, Let's Be Heroes, that was an LA-based show, Cartoon Network. I was recruited in for that because the writer and the producer of OKKO, actually it was Lakewood Plaza Turbo to start with, and they did the pilot, was a big Dragon Ball fan, and he was a fan of some of the specific voice actors, and he brought me in to play KO. And with that one, it wasn't anime, and we recorded all in the same room at the same time, and we would play off each other.
Yeah.
That one was a little more lucrative in the sense because I was the prominent character, and their scale was different. So I had to join the union. Of course, I had to pay for that. So it offset, but I still get like every once in a while, I'll get a check in the mail for like residuals.
Okay, so
and
I was about to
royalties.
get into that. Do you
Yeah.
do voice actors get a residual? A residual
with that. I
payment.
know what you mean.
A residual payment for playing something on a show, like like in like a music, like if a singer makes songs streaming. Like, do voice actors get anything similar to that?
It depends on where you live. For me, Texas, right to work, we pay by the hour.
Okay, so like
but
let's
it could
say
be a 1099. You kind of like your self-employed contract labor.
okay, so are you still getting any type of, and like I said, don't got to disclose any numbers, but do you still get any type of residual income from playing Gohan back in like '99 or 2000?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
We got famous, not rich and famous.
Got it.
No, I
Hey,
mean,
listen,
we were just excited to do it. Really,
Yeah.
we were working on stuff. We were like experimenting with different voices. It was a much smaller pool of talent. That's why a lot of us got to play multiple roles. Which is like, I don't know if the fans know that I'm East Kai and I'm the queen. I will win
right,
the
yeah,
gold.
East Kai too.
And Baby Trunks, well, I'm already here. We got a few minutes left. How about you do the voice of Baby Trunks? Okay, so now I'm a baby for
I just throwing in a bunch
15
of
minutes.
So would
German
you-
English teacher. I mean, it was random. It was Walla. It was villagers. It was 1 or 2 liners sometimes. A lot of us could change our voices, but that's one thing Funimation.
They're getting
And
that full hour out of you. They were not. They were
Right.
not about to let you guys leave. They said, "Hold on, we got 30
like,
minutes on the
all
clock.
right, we're gonna-
run some lines real
Right,
quick.
yeah.
We're gonna burn this out."
So I want to make a correlation just because I'm curious. Would you say that what you're doing is similar to like being like an artist that had like a hit song and they get like a couple like residual things here and there, but they have to go to like shows and perform to kind of make back the money of what's worth of what they played, which in your case is going to cons.
Yeah,
meeting the
that's
fans.
kind of more.
Is it kind of like that?
in
Is it
place
similar?
of. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the appearances,
So
the
Gohan and
exposure.
Goku's like your hit, records.
Yeah,
Kind of.
yeah,
You go to
and-
like the cons and you meet the fans, and that's like performing at a show.
Right.
Okay.
And then if they like your work, they like your work on my table. It's kind of like that. All of those things come together at the conventions, and it's the face-to-face interactions that are my favorite thing about what I do.
I'd say I'm like
meeting
the
the
producer,
people,
like I
meeting
make
the
the
fans.
beat, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have
Or
written.
the artist, the beat, the character you play is the song. I don't know. I'll just.
Yeah, on my website, I've got some songs I did write. I was a big fan of Weird Al Yankovic. Again, more of that
Oh
silliness.
yeah, classic.
I started writing parodies long before I even kind of really knew what they were all about, and worked with, again, Carl Finch, and we did a bunch of stuff for morning show radio. I did one called A Turkey Like This, which was Kelly Clarkson's A Moment Like This. I did one of the Christina Aguilera songs, Pitiful instead of Beautiful. I mean, there were some things where I was able to kind of utilize some more of that. Again, contract labor, not all the time.
Got it.
But that was something I got kind of pulled into that I actually really enjoyed. So I find myself rewriting lyrics to songs just for fun
just
all the
naturally.
time. The rhyming part of it, I think I'm just naturally better at lyrics.
Yeah.
I'd like to think I was better at the music part of it. I can hear what I think I want it to sound like,
Yeah, no,
but I'm
listening
just
to music is
naturally
amazing.
better at the lyrics.
Okay. Also, one more question before we go live and get some, real like in time questions along because we're getting a lot tonight, so that's great. I'm so glad you guys.
I
tuned
love
in.
it.
You guys must really want that card and that poster print, so this is great.
Exciting.
Are you independently funding and putting in what it takes to keep your career going right now? And then when I mean your career, I'm saying in terms of going to shows. Like, are you doing that yourself? Do you have like a full team that's managing all this? And if so, what is that like? And just
Yeah.
talk about like what does it take, the struggles behind that? Because like we always say, this shit isn't easy. Like,
Well, and for people like us, creative types,
yeah,
it's a matter of it's a lot of self discipline.
yeah.
And a lot. We talked about this.
talk about it, yeah,
being
we relate to
focused
that.
and getting distracted. Not necessarily not getting things done, but when you're not focused on one thing till you get it done, kind of thing, then you can be all over the place. So I've learned over the years that instead of trying to do it all,
Yeah.
because I was just trying to do it all because I was just independent in that way.
Right.
But now I've learned that it's better to delegate. So I do have a manager. I'm freelance, so I have some people reach out to me, or I reach out to them, or they keep my information for the next year, or I'm already booked, or whatever. So right now I'm just freelance, but I work with some agents in the industry. So it's kind of a balance of both. But my manager is also travels with me. He's also my handler. My bass player, he helps. He's my videographer. He does a lot of my videos. He does a lot of the technical stuff on and off the computer. So that's just stuff I just haven't learned how to do.
Yeah.
And honestly, right now I just don't have the time.
Don't have the time.
Which is
No, I
not a
feel
bad
that.
thing. I love being busy. When I'm on my toes, man, I'm like,
No,
let's
I
do
feel that
this.
completely.
But yeah, it's a good. You got to be disciplined. You got to manage your time. Stay organized and focused and meet your deadlines, or you're going to end up, oh crap, we forgot to order these prints. We really wanted these prints.
So you have to stay on top of yourself.
Yeah,
It takes a
and-
lot of discipline.
and
y'all.
keep a calendar. Okay, is this booked or not? Have different colors on your calendar. Like this isn't booked. This is in.
So you're managing your own
contracts
bookings
out.
right now? Like you're on top
For the
of...
most part. And,
Okay.
And if people want to find me, they can reach out to me, and they can get information online, and then and sometimes I turn it over to my manager.
Okay.
And then he's the one that they might talk to.
Now, one more question, because I love the business part of this stuff. This is what I love to talk about. If somebody came in right now and wanted to, I guess, kind of take over everything, and you don't have to do anything. You just have to just show up.
Sign.
Be Stephanie. Would you want or would you enjoy, I guess, not being independent? Or would you prefer being independent, like you have more control over, your money, how much you make, what you do, where you go?
And how much I want to
Yeah,
work.
or
and
would you
things.
want someone to come in and just do everything? So, okay, I've been doing this for all these years. I'm tired. Like, wait, what do you like, or what would you prefer if you had the opportunity right now?
I think a balance of both, because I still kind of feel like there's some creative energy that I would like to
You still want to have some...
expel. Is that a good word?
Okay. No, just to be fair, sometimes we don't always get that choice. So,
Yeah.
not to put you more in a tighter spot, but like if you had to pick like one or the other, because sometimes we would like, as artists and creators, we would like to have both worlds.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't always get that. So I just really want to know, where's your head at?
Yeah.
Stay independent and you
Yeah.
got more control, or someone take over and they could probably help you do more.
I mean,
off their
if
money.
I could delegate some more of what I'm doing to explore my music,
Okay.
I would definitely want to incorporate the music and writing songs, maybe do an album.
So
like
you want them to-
I want to get back in the studio. I definitely want to be involved in that creative process. I think I can do it all, but if it becomes overwhelming, I've gotten better at saying, "Hey, we need to do this," or now we have a
Okay.
website. Okay, we put where I'm going to be on the website. Well, somebody
sense.
else does that. Somebody else does the podcast. Somebody else does, some of the promoting. I might do the video, but I'm the performer in the video. Then it goes to editing. So there's definitely a lot of it I've had to outsource, more so now than probably ever.
Yeah.
But I kind of know what I'm good at, and I know
I was just about to
when
say
I got to
that.
draw the lines, and more self-discipline.
That's the best part of being independent sometimes, and that's what we're going through as independent artists in our own business.
Yeah.
It's like you really get a chance to be in the field of what you're doing, and you really get a chance to know what it takes. So now no one can ever kind of BS you, because you know how this industry can get. People just try to come in, take
yeah.
your money,
Yeah.
leave you dry. And if
Or
you
they'll
don't know
do
any
the-
better, you will get screwed over. And if you
It's
have to
happened.
know. So
It does happen.
it does
It's
happen
not
to
fun.
everybody.
It's not
But
fun.
it teaches you.
Yeah, it
especially
humbles you.
In
but
entertainment
it-
and art, we have
It's not fun.
we have a very shitty track line of just things not working out the way we want, and we just want to create and do what we love. But we do it, but
Right.
it comes with a cost. So that's why I
Right.
wanted to tap your brain real quick and
Right.
see, would
There's
you rather
always-
hands off, or would you rather be fully control hands on, no matter how hard it is?
I don't think fully. The creative process of it,
course,
absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, if I'm involved in any kind of writing or directing or I'm in the studio, I'm definitely gonna want to be involved in, say, like if I wrote a song, I'm gonna want to make sure I've got the right musicians and it's got the right sound that I wrote.
That makes
And
sense.
It's like I want to make sure that's evoked, but I certainly don't feel like I can do it all by myself, and I don't
Yeah.
have to, and that's fine. I mean, I work better with someone that I can bounce ideas off with anyway
I'm the
when I'm
same way.
writing.
I get it.
I got a musician. Okay, let's hash this out and write. So I think at some point, maybe not now, it might not be the right time. I do want to get back into more music.
Got it.
But I'm in audition mode, man. Someone wants me to audition
yeah.
for something. I want to be challenged like that. I want to see what other voices I have. What other characters can I bring to life?
Sky's the limit. Go
Yeah,
further
and I
beyond.
thought it was a limited sky. And then when I found out it wasn't, I was like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. Okay, I
Yeah.
can do this.
You're
you know?
creative. Once
I
you-
don't want to limit myself. I know there's people in my life that have tried to limit me,
Yeah.
step parents and things like that, like squash the energy. No, you're out of control. But as I've gotten older and I've been doing this for a while now, I was like, no, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Supposed to
I
be
do-
shining your light,
I do want to take it back real quick, right? Because I do want people to hear a certain part of this story. Have you ever had a moment where you felt like someone told you you shouldn't do this, or you can't do this, or you're not that good at it? Like, how do you handle that? And how do you stay true to, like, no, I'm really good at this. I can do this. Whatever it may be.
I
the
think
music, voice acting, anything.
There's just always been kind of an underlying down in the core of who I am that knew I could do some things that were, good stuff, good character voices, good, write poems, whatever I was doing. But I definitely I was in a household that was really pretty, some domestic violence was going on, and there was some troublesome, we had that, which is why we talk about what you watch on TV and where you go to escape from those types of situations. So, I mean, I had a stepdad that just, nothing was ever good enough. Mom was great. She, I was supportive and stuff like that. But I also have a big heart for people that go through that, because I see that a lot at my table, and I kind of try to be kind of nurturing to those kids that you feel like you can just tell they've been bullied or they're down on themselves about something. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I was made fun of, and I moved around a lot. I was kind of, when you know what you want to do, that can be threatening. Even if you're not bragging about it, but your energy and your aura can be threatening to others.
Yeah.
Like your peers. And so there was some of that went on. But that's kind of like immature kids, so that's kind of like everybody kind of goes through that.
Yeah.
So
It is a blessing to know that you are someone who is a living testament of what it takes to really push through that and, do some amazing things that we're all here in this room
Yeah.
enjoying and just, like I said earlier, honored to be just amongst that. That's
Well, I appreciate it.
that's
I
cool.
appreciate
And I've
it.
seen
Yeah,
your
you guys are
energy at
great.
cons. You were so awesome with the fans. Like I've seen it when we, had some of our booths together. Selling some like art and having you have like a special table. I see how happy they are to talk to you. You give them the time to. You
Oh,
give them
yeah.
talks. You give them advice. That is amazing. Not a lot of people care.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
care.
no, I don't know. I think that's just the way my mom raised me, and we're Southern, and we love everybody, and it's just a natural thing, I guess. I don't know, and I love the feedback, and I love the face-to-face interaction.
Yeah.
'Cause I really feed off of that, and it gives me, purpose.
Okay, only because I got so much questions coming up. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, move on. I'll keep going.
Okay, are you afraid of AI taking over your industry? Because I get those questions a lot as an artist, and there's voice AIs out there. Are you afraid of that, or are you just I got this? Like,
I mean, it's kind of scary because I think AI can help even save lives, and there could be amazing things done. But I worry about some of the true, genuine, real life human creativity is going to be kind of squashed out because of money or greed or
So my theory is,
there's a criminal element everywhere.
but it's gonna be missing that soul. Like I personally, just as a creative, I don't see the soul in there yet. I could see it getting close,
More
someone
like-
telling it how to get close to, but it's not gonna like that scream that you did as Gohan. Like I just can't see it fully recreating that close, but maybe not. That's just my opinion.
the organic part of
Yeah.
it, like the real, raw, true nature of the soul.
Like a
when you
certain
say
rasp
soul,
that might come at a certain pitch or a certain range that you're trying to push your vocal cords
and
to
then
do.
sometimes it'll crack or it'll do something.
Yeah, and that's
that
what's gonna
would be
make
natural.
it exactly. Do you think it will ever get close to copying that or getting close to that, or you're just like, nah, I can't do that?
I've actually heard some things where people try to clone the voices, and
like of your
I
voice?
can tell. Yeah, I mean, I can tell. Dan can tell. A lot of people that can tell it's not, but me. But it does have some of the nuances of the pitch and the
pitch,
timbre.
yeah.
Timbre.
Because I got a chance to see that with my art, like an AI try to copy my art, and I was like, it's.
But
So,
you can tell.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's no, don't got shit on me.
do hands.
I know. It's like if
Yeah.
somebody tries to sign my name. Or
But like-
some people are trying to do that too. Like
Yeah,
sign
but-
other people's
But like from
names.
what you heard, like of AI, let's say we're going on Instagram, TikTok, and we hear an AI Gohan voice. Like, do you ever feel like, wow, that actually does sound like me? Or you're like, nah, that's not me.
Yeah.
Even though but like we're just
Yeah.
talking, just off rip, just hearing it. You feel like it's
Yeah.
close? You
I
ever-
mean,
have you ever
I
been
can
shocked?
tell what they're doing, and I can tell that they use my voice to produce it.
Of course, yeah.
But I can just tell.
But do you ever feel like it's like, damn, this like, did I say that? Like,
Right.
is it ever
Well,
that close?
That's when it gets
That's-
scary because
Okay,
I don't
So you haven't felt
want.
that part yet.
We don't want anybody to take a voice and make it say things Stephanie Nadolny, wouldn't say.
That's kind of already happening on TikTok.
But I
if I'll be honest
I
with
worry
you.
about it in the justice system, the legal system, people planting,
Yeah.
framing people. I mean, I don't know. I'm like thinking way too.
hey, nah, I'm big conspiracy over here, but
Hey,
Facts.
get your hands on some of these amazing cards. We will have Stephanie signing some of them for us at the studio.
facts. So they'll be
Oh,
here as
gold.
well.
Gold.
Yeah.
So they'll be here as well.
Yeah, no,
And
Look at the little
Take
easels.
it out the,
Cute.
They got it here. This is not paper. This is
No.
This is a gold metal card.
They are sturdy, baby.
Yeah. I like some of the details that we put together. Me and Biz collaborate a lot on,
Mm-hmm.
what parts, get the gold reflection. So I just see all the,
that
I don't know if
one
you
is
can see in the
brand
camera,
new.
but the Dragon Balls, got the gold reflective, tint. This is kind of like, I guess, equivalent for us, like holographic in a sense. Like,
yeah, we kind of create the gold
Yeah.
cards
Yeah, it is
specifically for
holographic.
like
Yeah, the Halo.
collectors. So
Love
we're definitely pushing the collecting aspect to the next level with these. We're trying to really create not only a collector series that's easy to take to cons, but it's easy for people to get home from cons without any damage or issues. And
Oh, right.
yeah, and it's just
Packaging.
perfect for that.
You don't want any curvatures on the.
Yeah. And
Prints can get beat up.
and that was the
Yeah.
thing. We noticed prints get beat up. Sometimes some of the other stuff is just too big to get through, the airport. So we felt like
it
the
just-
cards is just a perfect medium for somebody maybe who's just in town, who only can grab a certain amount of things, and then they still want to grab those voice actor signatures, but they don't know exactly what would be great for that.
Right, and they're like limited.
Yeah, they're all
like,
limited.
All create,
So at the very bottom of
created
every
just for your
card, like
stuff.
we've always told you guys, at the very bottom, the last 4 digits will tell you how rare it is. So like all the Stephanie cards are going to be only 350 for the new one right here, the Super Saiyan Gohan or the Super Saiyan Kid Goku, and then her original card with us, the Kid Gohan. There's only 300 of those in the world. I think there's only probably like 220 or two something like that left. We
I
sold a
remember
pretty
when you
good
brought
amount.
him that first time.
Yeah.
I was like,
That was
whoa, these are so
WeebCon last year.
cool.
Super excited about that. But
Yes.
if you guys are looking for any of this, make sure that y'all check it out. It's going to be on lsdcollections.com on the website. And also, make sure you check out stephanienadolny.com as well. Her website will have her music, as well as if you're looking to book her or need her for any tour dates, that's the best place to get in contact with you, right?
That's correct.
All right, so make sure you guys go there and and make sure y'all get in contact with her. We gotta keep Auntie busy on the road.
Yes.
One thing I wanted to ask you about, speaking of the business aspect, was at what moment did it kind of start clicking that we're gonna have to get into the con space and make that a part of our business structure as a voice actor?
That was probably when I was contacted to do the voice of KO from OKKO. I got back kind of into that scene, and then I kind of started, realizing that I'd been seeing on the reels or whatever they were appearing at Comic Cons and different things like that, and I had other voice actors saying, "Why don't you do more cons? Like, why aren't you at the Comic Cons?" I'm like, "Well, it was a long time ago, and I'm not in anything like new." And then when KO came out, I'm like, "Oh, I am in something new now." And I did some other side projects, some video games for I can't remember, like other countries.
Yeah.
Some people in the industry we like refer each other, like,
As you
"Oh,
should.
I know somebody that can do that. You should call Chuck Huber for his workshop, or you should
Yeah.
call da da da." And then you start to kind of realize you're in the scene who's good and already doing things that people want. Like, I know fans are asking me if I'm doing workshops. What are you going to be doing? Any kind of voice acting lessons and stuff like that. We'll write.
Have you had anything like that, like a workshop at all yet?
I haven't necessarily had a workshop, but I've done consultations for people who want to start getting into voice.
That's something that you currently do? Is that like information you can share with people?
It's hit or miss.
Okay.
Everything pretty much if you go to the website, and then there's a form submission when you write a message. It comes directly to me.
Oh, perfect.
So that I check those on the regular, and I answer everyone. Yeah, I've got anime babies that I got to take care of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
facts.
anime
You know what I mean?
nephews.
Yes.
And
Facts.
nieces.
Facts.
We're family. We love you. We appreciate everything you've done. We want to give you your flowers now as someone who just
My
shaped a
cherry
moment for us.
blossom.
Yes.
Facts.
I know those flowers.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, is there anything else that you want to put out there? I think I asked all my questions,
I mean, I'm online with stephanienadolny.com.
Yes.
There's
Check
also
out the website.
I have a Facebook voice actors page. I have an Instagram.
Do you put
I
what shows
do
that
some
you're going
TikTok.
to?
I do.
Okay, cool. So make sure y'all
They get
see.
updated kind of week to week.
Okay.
Every 2 weeks, every once in a while when we have the time. That's another thing I've delegated to Mr. Dan.
Yes.
Is the updating of the website and
It's a lot. It's a lot.
adding. It is a lot. And then like I said, I'm busier, so there's less free time, which I don't mind it.
But I'm just so glad and grateful that you made time just to even,
Oh yeah,
be here
man.
for us.
No,
We
you're
want to make sure they,
Orlando.
that they hear your story, like, and what it takes beyond, the character, the voice acting.
Right.
And I'm
There's
glad
a lot
that
that
you
goes.
shared some of that
Yeah.
with us.
There's a lot of behind the scenes, but I also try to balance living in the moment and doing fun things too.
Okay.
Chilling out, having some. You got to have a mix of that. If you don't have any R&R or any relaxation, I think you'll kind of get burnt out.
Yeah, no,
Or
burnout is
you'll
very
start
serious.
getting
I felt that several
physically ill.
times.
You'll get physically ill. Your body
Yeah.
will be like, okay, you need to take a walk. You need to incorporate exercise, or you need
Yeah.
to drink more water, or whatever. And then you get older on top of that, and then you get the fact that you're older, so you just need to take good care of yourself, and that includes free time to relax.
Well, from the outside looking in, it looks like you're doing an amazing job. You're, very prodigious with how you, handle everything, and I just love to see it,
Thank
and
you.
I'm
I love
supporting
it in
you.
you too, man.
Yeah, no, we support you all the way. Whatever you need, like, we got you,
Yeah,
so.
same. I'm just really proud of you because I saw something in you just from your creative energy, and I'm not an artist as far as that goes. As far as
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the
but
part, yeah.
I could see that in you. Dan and I both were like, that guy is. I saw you as you were on your way up, and I'm just so proud of your success and your storefront, and you're just constantly grinding.
Yeah,
You know, but we got to, man. We want.
Isn't
we wanna
easy,
stay
man.
above
It
the
isn't
water.
easy.
This isn't easy.
And there
I'll tell you
are-
right now.
There's haters, man.
Yo,
Like, you learn
yo.
from your haters. That's what I've learned to do.
But
I
you-
kind of embrace it.
Yeah, that
I'm
means
like, oh, they
you're
don't
doing
like my
something
voice.
right.
Okay, that's fine.
You're doing something right.
I laugh at it.
If they
you
can't
know?
choose to be happy, they choose to be mad, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like what you said earlier. They're just, you know,
Yeah.
they're scared.
They're deflecting, or
deflecting
who
all of
knows?
that.
You know, they're hiding behind a computer screen, and maybe they're going through a lot,
Yeah.
and they don't know how to deal with it, so they pick on other people.
Nah, facts.
Seek therapy or support. Pick one. You know?
Yeah, or just get get help for whatever you're.
Yeah.
Deflecting is not going to work.
When it comes to cons, how do you select like what cons you're going to go to? Is it just like invitation only, or is it?
It's different. It's a
Okay.
mix of either people reaching out to me, or maybe someone in the industry is like, "Hey, this person just canceled. There's an opening at blah blah blah. Are you free?" And then that's when I check my schedule, and if I'm free, I'm like, "Hey, give them my information. We'll check it out." I definitely do research on those though, and I do check out the contract and make sure that everything's kind of on the up and up, and that there's an agreement, so it's
Mhm.
win-win for everybody. And
So it's a lot more. So that's kind of something that I wanted to kind of dig into is like the difficulty in the actual con space instead of because you do the voice acting job, now you've done the work, now you've gotten the clout, the publicity, people know who you are, but the now monetizing that and taking that to the con space to actually be able to make that consistent revenue from interacting with fans, being able to shoot videos, and
Right.
some of the different content that I've seen you do. How did you start to put that part of your business together in that sense? Like, was that just trial and error? Like each time we go to a con, we learn like, okay, print
Yeah.
sell, all right,
Right.
pop sell.
We know very well which ones sell better or sell more often, and we know the dimensions of which ones, and so we know when we're running out of one, it's time to reorder. But we have to stay on top of that weekly because we got to give our printer time, and you have to like just time it out, and that's why we keep a really detailed calendar, and that's really helps.
Do you have to wholesale buy like a lot of your Funkos and stuff? Because I'm assuming it's kind of difficult to get like 16 Kid Gokus. I've tried to buy 3 Kid Gokus and it's an uphill process. So.
I started that way just because I was out and about, and I was just shopping, and I went to the places where I know they sell pops, and then over time I've made connections to people offering, hey, I can get those for you in bulk.
Yeah, that's what I need.
And then I'll have them sent to me, cover the shipping, send them the money, and hope that they are good on their word. Most times they are. And I can order, and some of them you think you have a ton of them, and then all of a sudden they're gone. And then they vault them, and you're like, I don't know how
to get more.
Get them anymore.
Yeah, that's one of the scary things about the pop franchise, and I know for voice actors that's always got to be kind of scary because those pops are a big part of the resale
Pops
business.
Have
like,
really just jet setted everybody. In
Yeah.
the industry, whether pop culture in general. I mean, they have Funko Pop toys for just about anything.
Yeah.
And they're
I think
everywhere.
with any kind of popularity.
Anything.
I mean, they're there.
Even side characters and third main characters.
Even
Third
create
main
your own
They got
characters.
a ding dong.
Yeah.
Hostess ding dong Funko
Right.
Pop. I thank you, Dad. My dad in heaven. That was his favorite thing, was hot tea and ding dongs when I was little. And it's like, they got a ding dong pop. I gotta get it for Dad. And it's just, and then there's a premium there.
Yeah, there's a
If you're signing a pop, there's kind of an area of what it costs to get a Funko Pop signed for the autograph, and so that's made a lot of people, a lot of money over time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna front. One of my favorite things in my collection is my Funko Pops.
Yeah.
If
I was told early on, if you start, you're gonna keep. It's not gonna be just one or two or three.
No,
And that was
I got
right.
boxes of them. I
Yeah.
can only imagine that, like as a voice actor, that's got to be
Well, especially if you want to have at least one of each pop that comes out that happens to be your character.
right.
You want all the different Gohans, you want all the different Gokus. Now, hopefully Daima. I don't know when, but hopefully they'll be
Oh,
coming
you
out
already
as
know
well.
that's on the way.
Yeah, it should be. I know the figures are already out.
Yeah,
we
I-
saw those in New
yeah.
York, which that was cool. And then they had those signature cards they gave out at the big announcement panel. That I don't even know where you can get those. I think those were
eBay.
just.
You know, if you ever,
There you go. Yeah, there's my eBay.
if
Somebody's
you
selling
don't know,
them.
eBay's got it.
Yeah, branded
Right.
shirts and stuff.
I got one more good question, and then we're gonna live sign some of the cards and posters so people see what they're tuning in for, which is the giveaway.
That's exciting.
One more good question I seen a lot of amazing questions. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Shout out to everybody that's on the live. King Dro, shout out his podcast, Reified. I seen like my cousin in the chat. I seen the.
Hey.
There's so many of y'all. You know what I mean? So I wish I could shout you all out, but just to let y'all know, we really appreciate y'all. This is the 3rd episode of This Shit Isn't Easy. And like I always say, this shit isn't easy. We are putting this together. And I'm glad that we were able to come together and give you guys some amazing behind the scenes and some moments of what it takes to do what we all do as creatives, entrepreneurs, voice actresses, singers, and all of that. So
Business people.
the question was, did you ever want to give up? And if you did, how did you overcome that? Because I feel like in Dragon Ball Z, they kind of go through that a lot. So to know that you're playing characters that go through that all the time, I think that's a really dope correlation. So have you ever had a moment like that?
Give up what? Just
Whatever
anything?
you're doing, you know. Sometimes, you know, as an artist, I go through, yo, this is a lot.
Yeah.
It's very strenuous on me. Sometimes I do want to be like, yo, I can't do this no more. But I always
Yeah.
find it in me to
No.
keep going. Have you felt that in
Yeah.
voice acting, traveling, or just any other thing in your life that may be singing or it has nothing to do with, you know, anything?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all go through life. Shit ain't easy. Like
Yeah.
for me personally, it was losing mom at a young age, and it was losing my father last year. It was not being able to have children. It was a personal thing for me, and I was like, well, what am I going to do now? Because that's all what as a child. Even I knew I wanted to have a family, and I wanted to be surrounded by family, which I was surrounded by family as a kid. And so when all of that started falling away, I had to kind of regroup and try to figure out, okay, what am I going to do now? And then it became a matter of survival. So I was in a survival mode where I wasn't voicing anything. My jobs were contracted and they had ended. So I was in this abyss of just turmoil for years, really. And then COVID hit, and then I'm like, now I can't do anything if I wanted to, or what are some of the face-to-face stuff? I can't do that. So that'd be then. It would have been like around 2016, 17. Those were rough, and then COVID hit. So, but what got me through it, honestly, was, I have 2 really close friends, and one of them is Dan to this day, and I had a fire that never really went out completely, and I had to just like that spark. It's the rise of the phoenix. If you don't know the story, it's rising from literally ashes. And for me in my personal life, that's what I had to do. And what brought that purpose back into my life was the fans and the comments and people wanting me to come out and they want to meet me and they want me to. That gave me my purpose. And now I've got my anime family and I've got my anime babies, and those anime babies are having babies. So I've kind of rebuilt a family, if you that aren't necessarily blood related. And my artist friends, and I'm the vendors even. I've got to be friends with those.
Yeah, no, we support you.
This whole Comic-Con thing is a big deal, and it means a lot to me. And it just gave me a new sense of purpose to just keep fighting, even in your darkest moments. Thankfully, I didn't give up.
Yeah.
And I learned from all of that experience to be resilient, and I couldn't have done it had those things not happened to me.
Yeah.
Your personal journey.
I mean, that's one of the big things about, the show and why we do it is that it seems easy once it feels like you're successful. But one thing about success is that it's
fleeting.
Yes, it's not forever. If you don't do the right things or make the right connections or network the right way or stabilize it the right way.
Decisions.
Yeah, or even make the right decisions, it can disappear very fast, and then it's a process of how far are you willing to go to get it all back again? Because that's then now becomes the question.
And you feel like you got to prove yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, because you've done it before. So now you feel like, I know I can do it. I've done it. But how am I going to do it again? Knowing that I've done it before. Yeah.
Reinventing something or changing even one little thing with your art or changing one little thing or trying a different strategy. For me, I'm just going to send an email to Joe Schmo in LA and I've got a home studio and maybe something will happen. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But then I kind of regroup naturally and go, that door's closed. Okay, we'll open this other one.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep shooting. We're just gonna keep shooting.
It is some trial and error.
Yeah.
There's still some trial and error there thrown, but it keeps you humble and it keeps you.
Oh no, definitely. This game will definitely keep you humble.
Well, and I'm a Taurus.
This game will definitely keep you humble.
I know.
Oh, I know. But I'm stubborn. But I'm also stronger now. I'm stronger emotionally. I'm stronger mentally. I've been through some crap. Yeah.
Just come back
I can relate to go on and those losses and feeling like you can't really. What am I doing here? Why do I have to do this now? And no, I'm not going to take this anymore. Bam! It's time to fight back.
That's one thing I learned from the Gohan saga. I really will have to say, in comparison to the Frieza saga, because Frieza, bro, Goku, you had that fight bonds from the moment you went Super Saiyan. It was over. Like, there was no question. The fight, even after Frieza did that 100% power up, it was like, that didn't do anything, brother. You really just signed your own fate. This is done. But with Gohan, we watched him kind of lose everything in one moment of the show, and we thought the fight was over.
Yeah.
And then seconds later, the bad guy is right back at 100% power, and you have to start all over again from like 50% and still figure out how you're gonna win.
Right.
Like,
Just one arm.
one arm, no
That's
sensu
it.
beans,
That's
nothing.
right,
Like,
he
yeah,
broke his
his
arm.
arm was broken.
No sensu
The
beans.
one-handed Kamehameha.
Yeah,
right?
with Goku talking him through it from
Mhm.
basically
Telepathy.
heaven. Yeah,
Yeah.
from basically
Yeah.
heaven. And I just remember being like, that's what really made Goku or Gohan to me. That as a kid, I saw myself more as Gohan, and it made me feel
Yeah.
like even in moments where I don't know how I'm going to win or when I'm going to win or in what capacity winning it might be even possible.
Right.
I'm figuring out some way how to win at this. And I would always reach back to that Goku, like that Gohan moment where it was like, yo, if I gotta
Yeah.
just, can you do a Kamehameha with one way? I don't know, but we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'd just been beat down, and watching his friends and having that intense loyalty gave him such a multi-dimensional character.
Yeah.
The whole backstory from the beginning with Gohan was it's pretty heavy. I mean, like
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's what the fans love about him.
I completely agree with that as a Gohan fan.
Like it's like it's not a sin to fight for what's right, and he just had to have Android 16 tell him that.
Yeah.
Let it go, and then of course when he smashes his head, that's
Some things got turned up.
I wanna ask you something. Have you ever noticed your nephew's use of the doves everywhere?
I've seen that.
Have you noticed that? Did you ever figure that? Did you put two and two where that came from?
The stripe?
Yes.
Stripe?
Yes.
I
Yes.
feel it slipping. And there's the dove flying.
I started to notice that after working with him for a while. I was like, "Yo, is this from the Gohan sequence?" He's like, "Yeah, I just
Yeah,
the
I
three-
saw
the three-
it on
the
the
three
new one
doves.
out there in the canvas. I was like, look, the dove,
You gotta.
the halo.
There's a lot beyond the art, you know.
There's meaning behind. He's not just splashing colors and
Facts.
drawing images here. There's meaning behind it.
Everything's there for a reason.
Yeah.
But I just want to say this has been an amazing episode. I truly appreciate you. I just want to share one little quick full circle story moment real quick. I remember being young, like early Google days, and now looking up stuff, and I remember being so fascinated by the idea that like Kid Goku is played by a lady, a woman, and I just remember seeing like your picture come up like on like the Google search, your name and everything, and I was just so like, wow, like that's so cool, like, and I do remember saying like, it'll be dope to like meet you one day, and I don't remember what age I was, but I was young. I just know this was early Google. It's like when it was like them classic, stuff.
Yeah.
The search bar didn't have a lot, it was very early on, and full circle moment.
internet.
I'm sitting down here with you. I've known you for years. It's nothing but gratitude, and just an amazing moment to see you at cons, see you interact with the fans, and enjoy my art. So
Absolutely.
I want to say I really do appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, man.
More than you know.
We're the family. We're building
course.
a family here.
Would you do the
We
honors?
call ourselves family.
Would you do the honors of signing some of these?
will.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Live signing. Pretty exciting.
Live signing. I guess we
I
could.
think you're right here.
Yeah, right there in the
That's
cloud.
the spot you gave me a spot.
That one's already signed. No, not that one. That one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was one of the first cards she ever signed.
That's
Look,
right.
Oh, that's right.
This is one of the first cards we ever printed here at Vyrus
Mhm.
Studios. This is like a 1 of 1. This is
Yeah.
1 of 300, but this
very
was
rare.
the first ones that ever came out. These were the original print for that before we got the new
And that
modern
was our
print.
collaboration.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's too late to say that we got on the phone with each other. You even did a video. Remember?
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I got an idea for a print. This is my vision, and then I transferred that to you, and that's what you came up with.
Yeah,
Facts.
And that's one of my
that's
most-
what creatives do. We could just.
I want something to where his arm is coming
Yeah.
out, so it looks kind of 3D.
Perfect, man.
And that was a defining moment of the Cell Saga. So
Yeah, this was
the
literally
fans
like
love it, and your choice of colors.
everything's
Oh,
flawless.
Yeah,
about
come
this
on, I
card.
do this.
One of
Oh,
my
I know.
favorites.
This is what you
Effortlessly.
do. I know.
One of
And
my
but
favorites.
what you came up with was exactly what I had in my brain,
Thank
which
you.
is not an artist in that fashion. So that story behind that really makes it even more meaningful.
Hey, listen, I'd
My
love to hear that.
nephew. Aww. My
Appreciate
nephew.
you.
My other nephew.
Mm.
And look at us. We look just alike.
Mm.
Look at us. That's
Facts.
awesome.
Nah,
So
of
yeah, I'll
course.
go ahead and sign it then.
Yeah, sign in so anybody that tuned in, gets a chance to win it. Biz, what is going on with the black packs? Do they have a chance to win a signed card in it?
I will
'Cause
let y'all
Biz
know
makes the
that
rules. I
one
just
of the
wrote
things
art.
we'll be adding to the Black Pack is a chance to win voice actor signed cards as well. So the more voice actors that we collaborate with on more cards, like hopefully sometime soon here we'll be able to drop a Stephanie Nadolny card. That'll just be you as a voice actor.
What's the ratio?
So the ratio on that is probably 1 out of every like 50 packs will have a voice actor card. We're gonna try to get more voice actors.
Rare.
Yeah, so the more voice actors we
To win
get,
a signed voice actor card in the black pack, because we
Yeah.
have the OG pack. I don't know if we have it physically here with us. The OG pack just has all the other cards, but the black pack that we put out now,
those are
this
going to
is
have signed
rare
cards
stuff.
from not only Ozzy, but voice actors, content creators, anything that we have that's going to be signed is going to be in the black packs. Yeah.
Okay, rare numbers only, like any like low numbers.
So with the black packs, it's going to be anything under 500 for at least one of the cards guaranteed. And so most of the time that'll be a content creator card, voice actor card, or a rare card of any caliber without in our packs. And then the sign is what's going to make it super. So anytime you have signed cards in your pack, that just means you got a super pack. And like I said, you might have a chance to win something like this, the signed Gohan card, maybe one of the new signed Kid Goku cards. Signed Ozzy the Vyrus cards. And like I said, as we get more people on the voice actor list, we'll get more voice actor cards signed and
do it.
Yeah, we're featuring Daima now. That's the new series that is coming out, and it's out now in Japanese. It's also out on Crunchyroll Premium.
Yes.
We just they just released episode 4. Tomorrow's episode 5.
Facts. Do it.
I know a lot of you guys are waiting and you're binging later, but for those of you that can't wait.
No, I'm watching every episode.
Yeah,
I'm
watching. This is the legend that's making it all happen.
I'm just excited. It's been so long, and it's like.
Hey, but you back in it like you never left.
Like, yeah, right. But it's a whole new demon realm, and anyway, you'll see. But
yeah, I'm excited. I've heard nothing but good things.
It puts a twist on things, and then the kids are they're back into minis.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's very cathartic to be back. So,
I'm glad. I mean,
and you've already incorporated that in your art. I mean, look at this.
Shout out Nazim in the chat.
Right there,
that's a Kid Piccolo's voice actor. He said, yo.
Oh, I love it.
Yo, what's up?
And I'm signing next to Vegeta Mini.
Nice. Whoa, this weekend? Oh, nice. Oh, you gotta make sure.
Nice.
Well, we gotta make sure we give you an extra.
Oh yeah, no, we are.
Oh yeah.
Yep, we got them printed.
Make sure you give them
one. Yeah, sign this one and this card, and we'll give the fans a chance to grab some of this stuff. You can sign the front or back, whichever side you want.
Have her sign the front.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, have her sign the front of all the cards.
The front? Okay, yeah, the front. Yep, with the highlighted halo. Fire. That's what we do over here.
We can always keep our voice actors on
the
front side.
canvas, which I just noticed, that halo turns into.
If you could angle the card to the wall, there's a giant canvas there too.
It's a heart. I saw that.
Yeah, you gotta notice all the details. I won't tell you. You gotta find it yourself, and that's what makes the Vyrus art special. I feel like what it is like for me. I feel like when I do this stuff with the art, I feel like a rapper that has like a triple double entendre. Like that bar meant one thing, but when you hear it back, it actually meant something else. But when you really, really hear it back, it actually meant something else on top of something else.
Okay, Kendrick.
That's what I feel. Yeah.
That's the cycle. That's that little thing going in your brain.
Exactly. I feel like Kendrick Wayne in 08 when it comes to the art. You know what I mean? So
I put Goku Mini on this guy.
Ooh.
Yep.
Amazing.
See, he's got the skirt. See.
Look at that.
Fans know. They know what. Because I know some people who don't watch the show are like, well, how do you tell the difference? Why is this hair black in this one and why is it gold? And they don't know. But it's like they know, the true fans know that's the outfit from Daima.
Yeah.
That's why they don't get my character confused with Goten, because he's wearing.
Nah, Goten is a tragic story with that.
We'll say that for another episode.
I wasn't there.
Goten was an easy lob that they should have been like, all right, we messed up Gohan. We can fix this. And then they're like, we're just going to do the same thing again. It's fine.
Yeah.
Trunks needs a friend.
Yes. Appreciate you so much. Y'all see this? Y'all going to get a chance.
Can you want to switch over to with the silver pen for this?
Sure.
I can sign here. Gohan.
My Gohan.
Can we check and make sure it's good?
Oh, right. We need a sample.
I just want to make sure because you only get one chance to sign with
right,
this.
Especially
this was perfect. This was perfect.
Okay. I got my family here.
Yes,
and,
always.
We always try to put stuff together. I'm glad this worked out in the flesh, like we talked about. There's something different about being the same person.
Ozzy, your Instagram's been kind of going crazy.
Appreciate it.
Make sure y'all follow Stephanie Nadolny on Instagram as well.
Yep, I do have a TikTok, Steph Nadolny. Haven't posted a bunch on that lately, but I do have some funny interactions with other Comic-Con guest,
Facts.
things like that.
So make sure y'all follow her on there.
That'd be great.
Website. Of course. Watch Dragon Ball Z Daima.
Yeah.
Like the dub. And
support
the
Stephanie Dolly when you're at the cons. You know what I mean?
I like meeting
She's
you
out
guys,
here
man.
independently. Support her. Let her know how much you appreciate her role.
Absolutely.
I don't know however much more we could say, but I think we did it all. So appreciate you.
Yeah, a little bit of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This shit
We
isn't
love
easy.
you guys.
Episode 3.
Guys, later.
Appreciate
Peace.
y'all. Thank you.
You're proof. Thank you, and good luck to all of you.
Right now, this shit isn't easy.
Oh, wait. Are we still recording?
Yeah.
Can you say one inspirational thing for everybody before you go, or just something that you can like to inspire people?
And I also do have one request. I need to hear a Gohan line. Like,
Yeah.
no, I need the best Kamehameha wave you could do after that.
Oh, okay.
Facts.
Well, just hopefully we've inspired you guys. So obviously try to live in the moment, and you're stronger than you think. The resilient story even that I've been through is really seriously. I'm so grateful to literally be living and breathing right now. So just keep in the fight because things will turn around. That's my best of encouragement, and follow your dreams and your passions and shine your light. Keep doing the next right thing. All right, Kamehameha. Well, I gotta do Power Pull Extend for all of you Kid Goku fans because the Power Pull's back in Daima. Now here we go. Kamehameha wave. Ready?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Facts.
Can we all do it with you?
And then I'll
Can we all do it? Y'all want to tag in real quick?
Facts.
All right, bet. Let's all do a Kamehameha. Ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Start
Not too
off.
fast. Ready? I'm gonna start with Ka.
All right.
Ready?
Let's go! Stephanie Dolly in the building. This shit isn't easy. Let's do it.